Hi everyone, it's nice to meet you all. I'm Jenny Tattersfield. I'm coming to you from Wiesbaden, Germany. My husband is an accountant for the military, so we've been stationed over here for almost 2 years now, and we'll be staying for another 3 for a total of 5. And just to give you some background, the Armed Forces is underneath the management of the Department of Defense, and it's made up of 4 branches: the Navy, Army, Air Force, and Marine Corps, with the 5th branch being the Coast Guard, which falls underneath Homeland Security, so that doesn't exist over here. After World War II, the Americans seized all the military bases across the Western Germany, some of which they still occupy today, and the one here in Wiesbaden is the 2nd largest and is a joint Army-Air Force base. So with that said, I should probably say that I've managed to find an internship on the base here, which I'm incredibly grateful for because I don't speak any German. And it's a program which is called EDIS. EDIS, Educational and Developmental Intervention Services. So EDIS began as a program which catered to military families with children from 0 to 3 years old, and typically the parents would bring their children for assessment if they felt that their child was experiencing delays in one of the 5 developmental areas, which are adaptive, personal, social, communication, motor, and cognitive. So that's how it started. Now EDIS has grown beyond that. They now serve all DoD personnel, which are civilians and military, and they see children up to 18 years old and their families in individual and family therapy settings. So the children or the teens could be experiencing difficulties from anxiety at school, suicidal behaviors, to finding it difficult to adapt to living in a foreign country. And of course, EDIS still sees its share of developmental disabilities and learning disabilities. So that's in a nutshell. I'm going to turn you around now so I can show you a little visual. Okay, so here we are. I'm a very visual person, so it helps for me to be able to map things out like this, especially if I'm trying to explain things. So here in the middle we have EDIS with Dr. Tanner, and this is where I'll be. And EDIS is part of the Department of Behavioral Health, the DBH. DBH has many programs, and I've just listed a couple up here just to give you an idea. But they do outreach services, addiction treatment programs, a behavioral clinic, which is also part of the medical clinic. We have a warrior transition unit and a suicide prevention unit. Down here we have the social services department, which is the building that I'll be in. And within this building, each room is a different program. So we have EDIS right here, which is run by Dr. Tanner. Another room is occupied by Jerry, the school liaison, and he works with the DoD schools. So each of the elementary, the middle, and the high school have their own psychology department, and he is the liaison between those schools and between the social services department. So we work very closely with him on a regular basis. We also have a social work services department. This has an MSW and a licensed social worker in. They mainly do assessments and referrals. So when new clients come in, they do the assessment, and then they figure out from there what is the best place for that client to go. Across the hallway, we have 2 psychiatrists, an adult and a child, and they do medication management. We would work with them, for instance, if we were working with a child who had ADD and their parents wanted them to be put on medications, that's how we would connect. There's also a nurse case manager down the hallway from us. We meet with her once a week on cases that we share with a psychiatrist. So that's the behavioral health department in a very basic sense. Down here we have 2 other programs that we work very closely with. We have Army Community Services. These are, again, just a small number of the programs they do offer, but they do a survivor outreach service, which is grief counseling and grief support groups. A marriage therapy, which is led by licensed clinical social workers, They do anger management, parenting classes, and the Exceptional Family Member Program, which is a lot of developmental delays. So we have a lot of correspondence with that group in particular. Then down here we have the Family Advocacy Program. They do emergency foster care, SHARP, which is Sexual Harassment and Response Program. They do sexual assault counseling, and they run a domestic violence hotline. Again, a lot of referrals back and forth between us and them. And so although this is, I'll be spending 3 days a week in EDIS with Dr. Tanner doing individual and family therapy, it is my hope that one day a week I will get to go to FAP, ACS, the school psychology team, also over here to the social work services, so that I can do some job shadowing, learn about the programs, and in general just learn about how this all connects. Also, I should mention up here we have the Red Cross. If you want to volunteer or intern anywhere on base, you have to go through the Red Cross, and they feed the majority of this whole system. Most of the people who work in any of these are volunteers and unpaid employees. So with that said, I'm going to turn you back around. So that is it in a broader sense. I'm still in my orientation training period, which is coordinated by the Red Cross, so I haven't gotten into the specifics of what I'll be doing on a day-to-day basis with Dr. Tanner yet, but I will be starting with her next Tuesday. And I'll just finish up by talking quickly about my supervisors. Dr. Tanner is a clinical psychologist. She has 40 years of experience working with children and is trained in a cognitive behavioral practice model. My field instructor is Marie Jones. She's been practicing at an MSW level for 2 years and also has prior experience with children. And that's it. I'll keep you updated as we go on. But let me know if you have any questions. All right, thanks.